Yeah. I'm going to call the Property Service meeting to order. First, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are on the Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. Next is approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Boyles, second by Councillor Turner. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Count aye nay. Motion carried. Next is emergency resolutions. Is there any emergency resolutions? Is there any emergency resolutions? Any emergency resolutions? Seeing none, we'll move on. Was there any errors, omissions, corrections to the minutes of July 21st, 2025? Any errors, omissions, corrections? One more time. Any errors, omissions, corrections? Hearing none, then we'll consider those approved. Next is correspondence. A couple thank yous there from the Festival of Tardens and from Dominic Boyd. So, any questions on those? Seeing none. Next, we have a presentation from Chris Sampson, and I don't see that he's here, so we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Reports not requiring a motion. Director of Public Works and Development. And he's not here, so if you have any questions, we'll forward them on to him and get him to email. Warden Parker.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. In the minutes that we just approved, there was a motion made regarding the lighting at the new sidewalk in Blue Acres, and the motion was to have a RFP, request for proposal. But in here it talks about MOPC staff are preparing a lighting and safety design tender. To me, there's a difference between an RFP, which come back to us and decide, out of whatever comes in, what we might want to see there or what we can afford and whatnot. But if it's a tender, it seems to me when tenders come in, the first thing we do is open them and comes here to award to the lowest tender. I think it should stay RFP and not tender. That's what the motion was.
Yep.
So I guess I'd like that brought forward to to Mr. McDowell. Yeah.
Okay, so
Thank you.
we'll put that forward and then get him to reply to all the councillors. Okay. Councillor Dorr, sorry.
Thank you.
It's hard to see that light there.
Yeah, no, it's all right. I've been driving by at night because night's coming a lot earlier now, and I was surprised how bright it really is right along there. If anybody goes by in the evening or after 9 o'clock, they'll see, or 9:30. It's better than I thought it was going to be, really. So maybe we should a few of us drive by at night and see what we think before we spend a whole lot of money. Thank you.
I think there is some areas that do require some lighting. Yeah, and some of that, but it's something that Logan will address in his RFP. Councillor Thompson.
Thanks. Just on this, I agree we should make sure it's an RFP. I think the CBCL highlighted the deficiencies in lighting in that area. They've already measured that, I guess, for lack of a better word, and we just need somebody to install something. I don't think we need to do a study.
Okay, anybody else? Anything further for the Director of Public Works? Seeing none, we'll move on. Emergency Services. No questions? Fire Inspection Report. Building Officials Report. Seeing none, the Bylaw Officers Report. Okay. Councillor Wadden.
Just on the dog report there, when they fail, what happens after that? Where does it go from there when they fail on that report?
Thank you for that question. So the system right now is designed to only operate on a pass and fail basis, which doesn't work great for bylaw. So we're working on fixing that to be, depending on what it is, if it's a dog issue, to be reinvestigated, to be reattended to, things like that. But if it says fail, that means that it will require further action, further investigation to continue. And anything that's listed as passed would be something that we would deem the file has been closed. But we are working with APX, the contractor, to create more subsections for those.
Okay. Any other questions? Seeing none. Next is the business items that require action, J-class roads. The province is looking for our priority list again for repaving for the upcoming, next year's upcoming construction season, so. Warden Park.
The two we had last year, which are in your area, I think that were turned down by the province. If we put those back in, I thought that was sort of where we had agreed to go. Is there a reason for turning it down last year? Will they also automatically turn them down this year, or was it because they didn't have enough money or whatever?
That program only has so much funding, and it must have went to other areas. That's why Northern District didn't get any J-class
They
roads last
they
year.
weren't declared ineligible because
No.
of some reason, so we could put the same two in again.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. I guess I'll make a motion that we do then put the same two in.
Is moved and seconded? Just, is there any other questions on that? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye. Count by nay. Motion carried. Okay, deferred business, sanitary sewer lateral charges. And since Mr. McDowell's not here, no update. No. We'll just remain on this. Is there any motions for reconsideration? Seeing any? So I'm going to ask to suspend this meeting, which is a record time, until after the Financial Service Committee, and then we have an in-camera item that we're going to go to. So I need a motion to suspend it. Moved by Councillor McDonald, second by Councillor Bailey. All those in favor, say by saying aye. Count by nay. Motion carried.
Good evening, everyone. I will call the Property Services meeting to order. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Mi'kma'ki, the ancestral and unceded territory of the Mi'kmaq people. I need a motion for the approval of the agenda. Moved by Councillor Turner, seconded by Councillor Boyles. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Motion carried. Is there any emergency resolutions this evening? Any emergency resolutions? Okay, seeing none. We'll move on to the minutes from July 21st, 2025. Is there any omissions or corrections to these minutes? Any errors, omissions, corrections to the minutes? And one last time, any omissions or corrections to the minutes? We'll consider these minutes approved. Reports not requiring a motion. First, we have the communications report for the month of July. Comments or questions? Okay, seeing none. Recreation report for the month of July. Okay, seeing none. The warden's report for the month of July. Okay, the internet report for the month of July. Okay, and tax receivable report. Questions there? This will be coming due October 15th. And last but not least, the deed transfer tax report. Okay, seeing none, we'll move along. Reports requiring a motion. First, we have the accounts paid for the month of July. I need a motion. Moved by Counselor Palmer, seconded by Counselor Wadden. Open the floor up to any questions or comments regarding the accounts paid for the month of July. I guess there's my answer. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Motion carried. Next, we need another motion for the internet accounts paid for the month of July 2025. Moved by Counselor Turner, seconded by Counselor McDonald. Questions or comments on the accounts paid for our internet? Seeing none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Motion carried. Okay, next we'll move on to a municipal service grant for District 12, Hopewell 4-H, $1,500 for the Eureka War Memorial maintenance and ongoing 4-H projects. Moved by Councillor Dewar, seconded by Councillor Thompson. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Motion carried. Next, we have a tournament sponsorship. This is Northern Nova United Soccer Club, amount $250 for hosting provincial tournament for the Nova Scotia for the U13A boys. Moved by Councillor Wadden. Seconded by Councillor Turner. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Contrary-minded, nay. Motion carried. Coming for you, Councillor Palmer. Deferred business. This is a record for financial services. I'll tell you, we're usually 3 times as long. Okay, any deferred business? Okay, seeing none. Any motions of reconsideration? Community announcements. Go ahead, Councillor Dewar.
Thank you very much. I want to congratulate the Hopewell Footbridge Committee for the successful day they had a week ago yesterday. Over 650 people attended. There was councillors there. The warden was there. The warden came out of it the best, I would have to say, if any of us. He left early and still got the 50-50, and that was over $600, and he was kind enough to donate half of it back. So, and everybody left full and warm, extremely warm, but it just shows that people are still interested in turning out no matter what kind of day it is. Nobody was allowed to go on the paths or in and around the bridge, so that made sense. They had that blocked off. But anyway, I can't say enough and how council always helps support me giving money to that organization, but it sure pays off if you're there to see it. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor McDonald.
The second annual Family Fun Day at the Kensieville Community Center is Saturday, August 23rd. It starts at 10 a.m. with a road race, and the fun day continues from 11 till 2. There's games for kids, tug of war, face painting, music, and you name it, barbecue, and refreshments and everything. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Boyles.
Yeah, the Ride for the Burn camp will be tomorrow night at 5:30 at the Lanashi Fire Hall, where they'll be taking kickstands. I think are up at 6:45 or so, and then they're heading for the Seldon's River camp there, where all the burn children and that are at. So, anybody interested? That's tomorrow night at 5:30.
Awesome. Warden Parker.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just wanted to let everybody know I was at the East Pictou Rural Fair this past weekend. I like the horse bull, so that's what draws me in. But it was a good time. There was loads of people there, and everybody was having fun. And I'd been at the Cayley in Hopewell the week before, as Chester mentioned. And again, all kinds of people and all kinds of people having fun. And it wasn't that long ago, I was out in Councillor Bailey's area for the River John Festival Days. And again, very similar thing. So I think what it shows me is that all the effort and dollars we put in sometimes to trying to keep our community organizations going. We can't give people everything they want all the time, but it does help a lot. And we talked here a lot about, how we need to get people out of their homes. We need to get people out taking part in things. And and I've been at various other events, and unfortunately, some of them line up on the same day at the same time. I'd like to be in Kensieville this weekend, but I got a family vacation to go to, but I was there last year and enjoyed that. So I think it's good to know that our community groups and our volunteers are alive and well, but it is good to encourage them all the time because it's not easy to find replacements. Thank you.
Okay. Councillor Palmer.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just on that East Pictou Rural Fair, it was one of the most successful ones we had so far. Started off great on a Saturday, the first, not this past Saturday, the Saturday before last, we had a ball hockey tournament. Quite a few kids had teams in it and things like that, and it went all day Saturday in the rink. Then we had the pickleball tournament that started on Monday and ran to Thursday night, and it was full with participants. Friday night we had the concert up at the Music Mountain. That went over very well. The ball tournament started on Friday, and the field was packed with people standing around, things like that. Then on Saturday we had the children's parade. It was well attended, and games inside for the kids. The horse pole, like the warden said, was very successful this year. We had 18 teams, and the person that runs it for us said that that was the most teams, like all the exhibitions in the province this year, that was the most teams ever show up. So they had 3 different categories, and they ran up to 5:30, 6 o'clock, somewhere around there. The car show, we had approximately 200 cars, and some of those cars were amazing. Just, the money that people put into these vehicles is unbelievable. The dance was sold out. We had 800 tickets, and everything went well. Had a few little issues, but nothing serious. The RCMP were there, and they did a great job. They came, they walked in through the rink, came back and talked to us that was working at the back of the rink, and then they set up and they checked every car that was leaving. So, if you get caught for drinking and driving, it's your own fault. So that was very good. The parade on Sunday was the largest that we had yet. It was a lot of different entries and everything like that, and a lot of local people put their own floats in, and it turned out fantastic. We had a 5-kilometer road race, or fun run they call it. Last year we had 22 runners. This year we had 71 runners. So that's quite a difference. Then we had vendors in the rink, and then we had the Songwriters Circle on Sunday afternoon. Sunday evening we had 3 different groups outside playing till 9:30 at night. We were supposed to have our fireworks, but they were canceled or postponed due to the fire ban, and we'll have those at a later date. So, and that is sponsored by somebody in the local area, so we're very fortunate. I just want to give a shout out to all the volunteers. It's amazing to see how many people come out and give you a hand, right? There today, people don't realize to start it up and tear it down, that's where the work's at, right? So today we had 6 guys and 4 women, and everybody worked hard, and we get most of the stuff all taken down and put away and taken back to where we borrowed it from, except for Andy's chairs, and I might keep those. But like the warden said, these community events take a lot of people, and it's great to see people come out, and they're so appreciative of these things taking place, and it doesn't happen if you don't have volunteers. So we're very fortunate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that update. Sounds like a very successful weekend. Go ahead, Counselor Boyles, you had something to add?
Yeah, I'm sorry. On Saturday, I had a privilege, not this Saturday, but Saturday before, I had a privilege of turning around and presenting Mrs. Edna McLean with her certificate for her birthday and at the Hillside Hall. And I just wanted to let you know that how important these certificates must really be. Me and the warden were talking about it. She sent a thank you card to both of us for it, as our names were on it, but also when I presented it to her, she never laid it down through the whole party. Everybody came in the door, she had to show it to them and how good it was. So I just want to thank everybody. Thank you.
Yes, they're such we think a small token, but they mean so much to our, to those that receive it and also their families. So it's important that we as counselors keep up that tradition. Okay, seeing no more community announcements, I am going to adjourn the meeting, and I will pass it back over to Counselor Palmer, and yeah, and you can unsuspend the meeting. Thank you. 7:20, wow.
Yeah, okay.